Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Devotions. Pastor Steve here walking with you in God's Word. It is so good to be back with you, being able to walk through the Gospel of Matthew here again each day. And so here we are in Matthew chapter 13, and as we have come this way from the Gospel, really that pointed theme, that pointed reality of the Gospel of Matthew is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is here. It's coming in Jesus. And so we've seen his ministry, we've seen his teachings, we've actually seen him actually take authority in amongst the Pharisees, Sadducees, and teachers of the law, but also with his disciples as he's teaching, as he's preaching, as he's doing these miracles. And then he gives the big sign in the last chapter, right? The sign of Jonah. Give us a sign that you're the Messiah. No sign is going to be given to you except the sign of Jonah, and the Jonah that he was actually in Sheol, as is called, and in that belly of the fish for 3 days, but then he was resurrected. So we get to see this sign of Jonah. Now we get to see him just continue to teach, yet as Jesus teaches, he does it in a peculiar way. He does it in parables. He does it in this likeness of this context of people understanding. And so parables are heavenly teachings with earthly teachings with heavenly meanings. And so you're going to hear things like the kingdom of heaven is like, the kingdom of God is like. And so here we go in Matthew chapter 13. The first parable is the parable of the sower. The same day Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path. The birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell along thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. He who has ears, let him hear. The disciples came to him and asked, Why do you speak to people in parables? And he replied, The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has, will be taken from him. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, not in the parables, but in the people, right? You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You'll be ever seeing, but never perceiving, for this people's hearts has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Listen to then what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what is sown in his heart. This is a seed sown along the path. The one who received the seed that fell on the rocky places is the man who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since he has no root, he lasts only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. The one who received the seed that fell along the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. But the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop, yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. The gospel going out, the secrets of the kingdom, the ways of the kingdom go out. And the only way that we understand that is to really have the Spirit of God helping interpret it for us. For those that are with me in this, right? Just walking in his word and learning it, understanding it. We're all in different stages. But thanks be to God that we have the Spirit of God to be able to actually cling to these words and being able to understand it the best we can understand it, but fully believe and have faith in these words. He continues to go on with these parables. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servants asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds, you may root up the wheat with them. Let them both grow together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters, 'First collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat and bring it into my barn.'" A parable about that kind of end time of being able to know that the wheat is the good fruit and the weeds are going to be gathered up and burned. There's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth, as it says in other gospels within this parable. Right? The weeds are trying to choke. They're trying to distract the wheat from growing and producing its fruit. But as they grow together, the wheat grows together, the weeds grow together, but there will be a separation at that last day. Another parable. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field, though it is the smallest of all your seeds. Yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants. It becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and perch in its branches. And he told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough. Jesus spoke all these things to the crowd in parables. He did not say anything to them without using a parable. So was fulfilled what was spoken through the prophet. "I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world." The mustard seed, the little bit of yeast, it doesn't take much to have an effect. And that's where it says it's not the quantity of faith, it's the quality of faith. Right? Just that little bit of faith can move mountains. But here we get to see the mustard seed, smallest seed, but biggest plant. Small yet yeast, but brings about the expansion of the dough. How important that is. Then he left the crowd and went into the house. His disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." And he answered, "The one who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of the Father. He who has ears, let him hear." Another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. Excuse me. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. They sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all these things?" Jesus asked. "Yes," they replied. He said to them, "Therefore, every teacher of the law who has been instructed about the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old." New understandings as well as the old covenant, as well as the Old Testament. Put them together and how valuable it is. He understands it because the kingdom of heaven is fulfilling everything that was beforehand that God prophesied before. Oh, speaking of prophets, Jesus continues on. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. "Where did this man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers?" they asked. "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary, and aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, only in his hometown, in his own house, is a prophet without honor. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. Isn't he just normal? Didn't he grow up with us? With Joseph and Mary and James and Judas and all his siblings. Within that, you get to see just the eyes of people just wanting the normalcy, just not expecting the extraordinary. But Jesus was extraordinary. Grew up among them as the Son of Man, but he's also the Son of God. And as he does these miracles, as he does these teaching, it's all about him bringing about the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven, there is going to be a separation at the end. The kingdom of heaven, it is just a beautiful treasure for you and for me to be able to be all about. And so I pray this day, as the kingdom of heaven is advancing, as Jesus is still alive and well and working, he's working in and through you. He's working in and through his word. He's working in and through his sacraments. And so as we go forth this day, we can be people of the kingdom, having that incredible treasure that wherever we go, whatever we do, may we do it in the honor and to the praise of the kingdom of heaven coming forth this day in and through us. To that we can say, thanks be to God. Have a blessed day.